Chapter 23. Andrew's First Practice. Andrew and Christine began to search for a practice. They sold their car to add to their savings. They now had £600, but it appeared that this was not enough money with which to buy a practice in London. Then, when they had almost lost hope, Andrew heard that a doctor in the Paddington area of London had died, and that his practice was for sale at a price which they could just afford. When they went to see the large, cold house that would be their home, they were disappointed. "It's in a miserable area," said Andrew. Then, suddenly becoming more cheerful, he added, "But there are nice houses in the neighbourhood. What do you think, Chris? Shall we take a chance and buy it?" Christine was doubtful. She was tired of London now. She hated this cold house and the dirty streets. She wanted to go back to the country. But Andrew seemed so anxious to buy a practice in London that she let him have his wish. "All right," she said. "Buy the practice if you would like to." He bought the practice, and in October he and Christine moved into their new home. "We've spent everything, Chris. You must be very careful with the money," Andrew warned her. To his surprise, she burst into tears. "Careful? Aren't I always careful?" "Chris, what's the matter with you?" "Oh, I hate this house. It's so dark and dirty. But Chris, it's the practice that's important, not the house." He held her in his arms and tried to comfort her. Next morning, at 9 o'clock, he opened his surgery. His heart was beating fast with excitement. 9:30 came. He waited anxiously. It was nearly 11 o'clock now, and still no patient had arrived. Suddenly, the surgery bell rang, and an old woman walked in. She had a bad cough. Andrew examined her and then gave her a bottle of medicine, for which she paid him a small amount. Andrew felt as excited as if this was the first money that he had ever earned. He ran to Christine and showed her the coins. "First patient, Chris. This money will buy our lunch." That evening, 3 patients came to his surgery. But on the following day, he received no patients. And on the next day, he earned less than £1. Andrew began to ask himself if he had made a bad mistake in buying this practice. He and Christine were so poor that sometimes they did not have enough to eat. They went to a cheap food shop owned by a fat little German woman who called herself Mrs. Smith for their meals. Mrs. Smith liked them and was kind to them. She became very fond of Christine, and one day she said to Andrew, "You will be all right. You will succeed. You have a good wife. Don't worry, I will send you patients." They tried to pretend that their struggles were amusing, but never had they known such hard times.